Hello, good day. I am David Lebna. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of weeks since the last time I posted a video. I've been really busy with other work and just life in general now in the summertime. But today I have some spare time and the sun is shining. It's a gorgeous, beautiful day. So I thought that today would be a perfect time for me to shoot this video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. About 2 months ago, I posted a video where I showed you how I repot my cucumber seedlings, the ones that I start inside underneath the grow light to then bring outside and plant in these big pots that I have out here on the balcony. In that video, I also tried to plant some cucumber seeds straight into these big pots here, just to see if they would grow differently than from the ones that I start inside first. And I have some results for you, which I'm going to show you today. All right, so here are the cucumbers. I have 4 pots with cucumbers. I have 2 cucumber plants in each pot. I always did it like that. I think that works fine. These 2 in front here are the ones that I started inside to then plant outside here in the big pots. And these 2 in the back are the ones that I planted straight in the pots. Let me start like this. The only reason as to why you would want to start your seeds inside is just to gain a couple of weeks when the season starts, because if you go in a country like me, or in an area like me, or in a zone like me where the growing season is pretty short, you only have so much time to grow these kind of crops, the warm weather crops like the cucumbers, like the tomatoes, like the zucchinis, like the chilies, the aubergine. It's only like about 3 months that we have to grow these. So if you start them early, you will get an earlier harvest, of course, and you might also be able to get like 2 rounds of cucumbers in the season. So that's why a lot of people like to start them inside, me included. I've been doing it like this for the last 4 years, so for as long as I've been growing on this balcony here, I've been doing it like this. But like I said, I haven't been amazed with the results that I've been getting, so that's why I wanted to try a different method this time with the same variety of cucumbers, everything the same size of pots, the same soil, the same nutrients, everything the same, just to see if they would grow differently. And as you can see, the ones that I started outside straight in the pots has actually outgrown the ones that I started inside. And there might be a different couple of reasons as to why this has happened. My guess is that the actual transplant of the cucumber plants does like slow it down a little bit, and it gets a little bit of a transplant shock. They always do, but it might be harder on these than, like, say, other plants, because I do know that cucumber plants are known to be a bit tricky to replant because of the roots are being so sensitive. So, but I'm gonna say this: the cucumbers that I started inside did produce cucumbers earlier. So I have already harvested probably like 5 or 6 cucumbers from these plants here, but it's only like over the last week or so, because before that they were really slow. The 2 of them were really slow. These ones that I started in the pots, they were super slow for a long time. They were only about this size. But now for the last 2 or 3 weeks, that's when it really started to grow and actually outgrew the ones that I started inside. And what I realized really quick also is that the ones that I started outside, they just grew bigger leaves for some reason. I'm not sure why it is, but I think that it's because the ones that I started inside, that's the problem that I always have, is that I find that they start to grow flowers really early, like within weeks they started to produce flowers and little cucumbers. And to me, that's a sign that it's like, it's not really put in the energy it needs to develop the plant to be a full-grown plant. These took a longer time to start producing flowers and cucumbers, so I think that's why the overall plant itself looks better developed to me. And as you can see, I am getting a lot of cucumbers on these plants here. On this one on the front here, I just took off a cucumber yesterday. This one the day before, so it doesn't have any cucumbers right now, but it has some more flowers come out on the top here. This one though, I have 3 cucumbers developing at the same time. That's something that I saw, is that the first cucumber that I got on each plant, it was only 1 cucumber growing at a time. The rest of the cucumbers just fell off. I don't know if it's a coincidence that they weren't pollinated, but I don't think it is. I think the plant itself is not just strong enough to produce more than 1 cucumber at a time. But now, since I think maybe it's more established than it was before, but this plant here is actually growing 3 cucumbers at the same time, which is really neat, because that's really what you want. I'm sorry, I have a helicopter or something that's flying by. But that's really what you want. You want your cucumber plant to produce as many cucumbers at the same time as possible. But one thing that you want to look out for is that once the cucumbers are done, this is a small variety of cucumber, it's called Isnik, and they don't get bigger than this. This is like the size they will reach. So what you want to do, like once they reach this size here, you don't want to leave it on like for a couple of days extra. You want to make sure like you know what kind of cucumbers you're growing, and when it reaches the size that it's ready to harvest, you want to take it off right away. So I'm going to do that now. Just cut that like that. Eat it fresh, right away. Just take a bite. I'm not going to do that now because I want to save it for later, for dinner. But store in the fridge. These are organic, so they won't really last that long. Even in the fridge, it only lasts for like 2 or 3 days before it starts to get soft. So you want to eat these like more or less right away. And these are not really pickling cucumbers because that's a different variety. These are to eat fresh. Another thing that I have seen with the cucumbers here that I started straight in the pots is that they could actually grow many cucumbers at the same time on the same plant, in opposed to the ones that I started inside. These were, I feel like they were a bit weak still. I don't know if maybe it's because the leaves are bigger on these ones here, so they can, like the photosynthesis is better on these ones here, so they have more energy to produce more cucumbers at the same time. But I'm not really sure why it is, but in my experience, growing this specific type of cucumber, to me, definitely like plant them straight in the pots in the beginning of June. And it's been 2 months since I planted these seeds here in these 2 pots here, and they're already fully mature. And with cucumbers, one thing you would realize if you ever grow them is that the actual fruits develop so quick. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 days from they start to grow until they're finished. It's like really, really fast, especially the small ones here. So I'm not sure. I know that a lot of people do start their cucumber seedlings inside to then transplant them outside to the soil or to the bigger pots. Maybe it's a different variety, but for me, definitely plant them straight in the pots that they are supposed to be grown in. Like, don't move them around. And also, as I did mention in the last video I did about cucumbers, is that you want to save time. I mean, it takes a lot of time to farm. I realize that now. Like, I have to, like when I can, I do spend like a couple of hours here every morning, like 2 hours here every morning, because it just, I have to. And even though I do that, it's like still like there's things that I don't have time to do. Like, I have some broccoli and cauliflower growing on over here on this side here, and I've been wanting to do that for weeks, but I haven't really had time because like even watering everything here does take an hour or so. And I like during these days here when it's super hot, like I have to be out here and I have to give them some water like every morning basically. But anyhow, trying to keep the video short as always. I don't know if you can see it, but I have 1 cucumber down here at the bottom that is starting to form or starting to get done. I'm probably gonna take this off tomorrow or the day after that. And it's a lot of cucumbers that are coming here. I'm very excited about this because I haven't really been this successful with the cucumbers before, so super excited about that. As I said before, things are a little bit more busy now than they were when I first started the YouTube channel. That was a pretty slow spring that we had, and we all know why. And yeah, I'm trying to push out the videos as much as I can. I have a lot of videos that I want to make, and I'm just really trying to find the time. I have a lot of zucchinis growing here over here on this side. You might have seen the last video if you haven't watched that. Did harvest the first zucchini yesterday with big yellow zucchini like that, and I really want to make a video on like the progress with the zucchini plants. And I also have some chickpeas growing on the other side. I'm gonna harvest some carrots on this side some of these days coming up now. I have some aubergine growing on the other side over there. So there's a lot of videos that I can make. Tomatoes are getting ripe as well. Chilies are not doing so well this year, unfortunately, but maybe I'll get some towards the end of the summer. As always, thank you for watching this video. I'm really, really grateful for you taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope you learned something from watching it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so please. I have a lot more videos that are supposed to come out. And until I see you next time, take care of yourself, take care of your garden, eat well. stay healthy, and I will see you soon. Thanks again for watching.